In this video, we're going to look at bad click trains that don't come from an actual source of a click train, which would be a cetacean, a boat sonar, or a weak unknown train source, but they come from a random sequence of clicks from other sources. In this case, it's going to be sediment transport noise. So here's our first suspect, and here is the FP1 file showing typical sediment transport noise amplitudes and frequencies of fine sand in suspension. And if we zoom in a bit on this train, and what we'll see is that it's composed of clicks that aren't really very different from the background. The frequency is very much the same as this persistent background. The clicks per second, the click rate profile is very irregular, and the frequency profile of the clicks shows almost no coherence, in contrast to the good click trains we looked at earlier. So let's move to the next one. And essentially all the same things apply here. The clicks per second is very irregular and rising steeply. It's also, like the last one, very fast. Here's another one, not quite so fast, but it is going, if you look down there, it's going at about 111 clicks a second. The duration is mainly at 3 cycles. That's actually typical of this kind of noise. But the position of the loudest cycle is jumping around quite a bit, and there's no coherence in the frequency profile. If we change that to look at the amplitude profile, that does actually look quite coherent. It's pretty flat, and the the reason it's fairly flat is actually there's a very sort of steady background level of noise coming from the sediment transport, and that one feature, amplitude profile, is of less value as a test when the source is sediment transport. Okay, we'll look at the next one. Very much the same again and again. If we zoom in here, this is quite a long train, but there aren't sort of silent periods in between these clicks, and there's very little coherence up there in the frequency profile. And here's the last one of these we're going to look at. So here you've actually got another feature. The loudest cycle in these clicks is towards the end. So these clicks are 6 or 7 cycles long. It's very unusual for a cetacean click to be, quiet at the beginning, getting louder and louder and louder all the way through to nearly the end. So none of these click trains are remotely plausible as true click trains, and the software has actually rejected them all, either by giving them a very low status, or giving them no species class. Okay, so that's a view of the bad guys. Okay, I hope it helped.